Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Barry University's David Brinkley Studio, this wonderful class of seniors in the School of Education, soon to be out in our schools in Miami-Dade County. And today we're going to do a peace education lesson called I Am a Star. It's a community building lesson, and it helps us to kind of understand what the peace rules are all about and how the peace rules can help us to create that peaceful climate in our classrooms. It's what our children, our students are coming to us after 2 years, after the pandemic. There's so many learning deficits, social, emotional deficits, and we need to create that peaceful environment, that caring environment where our children can thrive and be resilient children, just like you are resilient yourselves, and just like you shine like stars. So our peace rules, what are they about? What do they teach? What skills are we wanting to bring to our students? And this is preschool through 12th grade, right? And this is for us as well, in our homes, in our families, in our communities. So peacemaking is about cooperating constructively. So creating that sense of team building, of belonging, we're friends together in this classroom, and that creates a very different kind of climate when we're able to create constructive cooperation, where we speak respectfully and listen with an open mind. Each person is respected. We all receive the respect that we give to one another. And listening with an open mind, putting away the barriers, the prejudice, the discrimination. Sometimes those are blinders that don't allow us to see another human being for who they are and for the potential that they have, right? So putting aside, trying to have our students learn that prejudice and discrimination really destroy that climate of peace in the community and in our classrooms. And so acting with kindness is so important. When we receive kindness and when we give kindness, when we pay it forward, we create a more peaceful classroom and a peaceful world. Kindness really can make an impact and break down hatred and break down prejudice and bring down the walls that divide us, right? So another aspect of that is respecting each other's feelings and realizing that in a classroom, in our lives, just that affective piece, feelings have a lot to do. I mean, our students are coming in from their homes, we are coming in, and sometimes things may not have gone so well the night before or the day before. So we bring our feelings into the classroom, and so recognizing and working with our students so that they're able to manage, especially the stress, the fear, the anger. Anger management here is very important, a skill that we can teach our students so we're preventing violence as part of our anger management strategies. And then finally, taking responsibility for what we say and do. Responsibility for the good that we do, taking ownership of that, and also responsibility when we don't do the right things. And that brings us to our fouls. So our peace rules are positive, are pro-social skills, our peacemaking skills, and these are the negative behaviors that we don't want in our classroom. So this really helps us with classroom management for you as young teachers. So important, right? And what are the fouls? So blaming and bossing and making excuses, hitting and pushing, cruel humor, when you're very blunt with your humor, sometimes not so good, right? Sometimes it's important to be diplomatic. So it's a little bit of give and take, right? Put downs, rude gestures, shaming, sneering, threats. All of these behaviors, these negative behaviors, build walls and break that sort of peaceful, cooperative community that we want to create. So, I am a star. Can you show your papers? You all have papers that have stars on them. And so here in this activity, you are going to pass your paper with your name. And so, for example, I have Ruby's paper here, and it's filled with stars. And as Ruby's paper passes to the right, you all will begin circulating each of your papers, and your classmates who know you after 3 or 4 years since you're seniors, are going to be able to recognize some of the gifts, some of the qualities, some of the things that make you shine and make you very special. And all of those gifts and qualities that you bring to the table, which are so important in creating a community of peace, where you all shine, and where we want all of our students to shine and be resilient. All right, so we're ready to start? Okay, so Ruby, you pass to the right, and you begin. Let's circulate. Let's create a flow here, and each one of you is going to write something that you see is very special, is a gift, is a quality that you want to highlight and recognize with your classmates. Okay. So while Tania finishes the last star, we are ready to now take a look at our paper filled with stars and filled with aspects of ourselves, qualities, gifts, ways in which we shine and that others have recognized in us, that our classmates have recognized in us. So this wonderful activity is lifting us up and bringing out the best in us, like our potential. And that's what we as teachers need to do with our students. And that's very hard, but bringing out all of the potential that they have so that they can shine. So let's go back and forth and let's see what some of the stars say. Edward, start us off. What's one thing that that struck you in this activity? What was one thing that was said, recognized in you that you thought was important?
I feel, well, one thing that jumped out at me is curious. They said I'm curious, and I agree with that because I am the kind of person that likes to know why things happen and why things are done. I'm not okay with just doing things or just accepting something for what it is. I like to know why, pretty much. So yeah, that's something that jumps out at me.
That's a wonderful thing. Why? Curiosity, critical thinking skills. That's so fantastic to foster in our students. How about you, Ruby? What popped out for you in your stars?
Something I found very sweet was somebody wrote "fun to be around." Pretty sure that's what it says. I think that that's a good quality, just because sometimes things could be boring or just not as exciting. So just to bring a little bit of like energy in a classroom, I think is great. And I mean, as a future teacher, students could kind of feed off of that, and it's a good way to engage your students.
Having sort of creative, fun, educational experiences, and this kind of activity is an example of that. Thank you. How about you, Zainab? What was one thing that you were touched by?
I was touched by brave. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I think even though no matter how scared we are, we should just go for it. So
courage, brave.
Courage. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's that in the face of difficult times and crisis, having the courage, and that courage is shared, right? When we support one another, we can lift each other up. How about you, Kat? What was one thing for you?
I liked independent, because I feel like sometimes you have to learn to stand on your own and be yourself without having to rely on other people.
Very important to teach our students independence, autonomy, right? That's so essential for the educational experience and for life. How about you, Jasmine?
Something that stuck out to me was patient. I don't really see myself as patient, but I'm glad somebody else does. It's definitely something that I gotta make sure I try better at working with children.
That's excellent, right? So, and there are areas where we need to grow, and it's so important, to know, hey, I can, this is something that I need to work at, and it's going to be difficult. There's going to be times, as you're experiencing in the classroom, there's high stress, and patience, and calmness, and being able to listen, and being able to bring out all these skills is going to be so important for you to survive, and to bring out all the best things that you can in your students. How about you, Alyssa?
Someone put Goofy, and I
Awesome,
really like that
awesome.
because like everything's too serious sometimes, so
Right.
you have to be able to like flip that switch and like, especially around kids, like just
Yeah.
bring out a goofy, silly side.
The goofiness, the
I like that.
silliness, the joy, the fun, the laughter. Awesome, very good. How about you, Janet?
Someone put that I'm easygoing. I guess that I'm easy to talk to and like easy to approach.
That's wonderful, yeah. And that creates that, you know, when we are able to kind of create that's a peacemaking skill. And, you know, when people are open and they're present and they're approachable, right? A lot of times our defenses, our students will come to you with a lot of, you know, their defense mechanisms. They put up walls. And so we need to be able to create that sense of trust and cooperation so that they feel that they're included and that they're validated and that they're important in the classroom. How about you, Jacqueline?
One of the qualities that stuck out for me was driven, and I think that's something important to have because you're always going to have challenges in your personal life as well as at your job. So I think it's very important to always try to push through and try your best at everything that you do.
To that drive, that sense of strength and fortitude, and you're able to push through and push on, right? How wonderful. Jazz, how about you?
The one that stuck out to me was trustworthy. The reason why I say that because as teachers, we should always build that trust with students and within ourselves as well, and outside the classroom.
Excellent. That sense of trust, right? So that students think of issues where there's bullying, right? Issues where students' safety, right, may be in jeopardy. And so things that are going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. But if you as a teacher, if you have built that relationship of trust, students are going to come to you. Think about so many of the violent situations that are happening in our schools, right? And so we need to be able to build communication and trust with our students. They need to be our allies and our helpers. And so Megan, how about you?
Well, something that stood out with me that somebody put special, and I like that because we're all special in our own unique way.
We all are special, we all are unique, and this activity helps to bring that out in our students. And Michelle and Mushu, our class mascot.
So someone wrote that I'm respectful, and I like that because I try to treat everyone with respect, including my students. And I think no matter the age, that everyone deserves respect.
And so we respect one another, we respect each other's feelings, we are all valuable, we are all important, and so that respect goes a long way in building a peaceful climate in the classroom. And we have Ashley, we still have Ashley and Anna over here, right? Ashley, tell us, what is one thing that stuck out for you?
One thing that stood out for me was that someone said I was ambitious, and I don't like to settle. So as a teacher, I feel like you should be that role model and teach students not to settle, but instead work hard to reach their goals.
How wonderful, ambitious, working hard for high expectations for your student. That is so important in fostering resiliency in our students. High expectations, caring, participation, so important. Anna, how about you? What was one thing?
Something that stood out was someone wrote welcoming, and I think that's really important in the classroom. So that, like, if I have a welcoming attitude, then students, regardless of their differences, can feel welcome in my class.
Exactly. Oh, that's so important. You know, an old teacher once told me as I was starting out, be at the door greeting your kids when they're coming in the morning. That eye contact, that greeting, that welcome can really just might turn on the switch when someone's switch is turned off, right? That's a smile, and sometimes you may not feel like it because you're coming with a bad hair day, a bad day. You know, it's not a good day for you, but a smile, a welcome can really make a difference. so important. Thank you. An instrument, a musical instrument, a song, a dance. You know, the joy, the quirkiness, the goofiness can really, you know, create that climate of peace in your classroom. So, also, you have a professor here who has been with you, accompanying you along, your teacher, right? So what were some things that you recognized in him? Start out real quick. Ruby.
Understanding.
Understanding.
Courageous.
Courageous.
Empathetic.
Supportive. Helpful.
Caring.
Goofy.
Goofy.
And courageous.
Courageous. Over here.
Dependable.
Dependable. Wow.
Caring.
Caring.
Extremely helpful.
Motivated.
Nice.
That helps.
You also have understanding.
Understanding.
And wise.
Wise. Wow. So, a tribute to your professor who is also included in this activity, right? Because we all need teachers that can inspire us and can pass on that light, that old teacher, right? I'm an old teacher myself. So thank you to each and every one of you for bringing yourselves to this activity and your gifts to the table. And so we have been working from a wonderful activity, I Am a Star, from Creating Peace, Building Community, in the 7th grade curriculum. But it's a wonderful activity that we could do, you know, early primary all the way on up. We can adapt it. It's an activity that teaches us how we can be a community of learners for peace education, cooperating, speaking respectfully, listening with an open mind, acting with kindness, respecting each other's feelings, taking responsibility for what we say and do, and putting aside the fouls that destroy our community, that destroy our relationships, our friendships. We build bridges and tear down walls, right? That's what we need to do as teachers. Build lots of great bridges for peace and tear down the walls that divide us. Thank you to all, and blessings as you begin your teaching careers, coming up soon to a theater near you. Right? All right, thank you so very much. God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you.